All right, Matt back with another Drip Network video. Before we get into it, could you Mike Tyson the like and subscribe button? All right, you can see that on the native DEX there, it's 24 cents. So kind of near the all-time low. I think it did get down to 22 cents. And so let's just talk about what's going on with Drip. Right now you got an AMA that's coming out next Thursday. Some people think it could be a stealth launch. Some people think Triple D and the new UI could be a week out, maybe June 1st or something. So does Forex Shark, does he have motivation to work on Drip without dev fees? In some ways, if he's making more money on Animal Farm, you can see why he's lost motivation for development on Drip. Now you do have the Drip, Triple D and UI that should be coming out soon. How that's going to affect it, no one truly knows. Most people in the community are most excited about Triple D. The UI has dragged on. He's had a couple different teams working on it. They touted an old one last year. You can see different projects, like I've mentioned before, in the ordinal space that have been banging out projects and wallets and websites like crazy since February. So there's really no reason why there isn't a new UI, but that should be soon. And once you launch it, then that is a moot point. Animal Farm, the V3, Piggy Plinko, and all the other games they have planned. That's what he's most excited about. And he's also talking about Arbitrum, about possible home for future development. I'm not sure exactly if that's where he wants to bring games, but sounds like he likes that as a place to build, for developers and for being cheap. So how that's going to fit into everything, who knows? He's also excited about super chats, which I'm not sure it'll be that big a deal, but maybe it will be. And I think it's going to take a lot longer, but maybe they're almost done. I don't know. To me, integrating the super chats, it can work with the streaming platforms and integrate crypto and stuff. Feels like a tall task, but if you get the right team on it, if you factor in how long it's taken to get a new Drip UI, the super chat seems like a way out. And then Forex also, he has his personal trading that he does on Bybit. I know that there's a while there he is in the top 5. Just highlighting this is Forex Shark has lots of skills, but he's also getting pulled in lots of different directions. And he's got some previous projects like Silo, Rev, etc. So some people think he walks on water. He's just another person. Not everything he's ever touched has went to gold. And also, he does hours and hours of AMAs when I think a concise Medium post would do more often. A lot of it is just him talking, and the AMAs are usually just him talking. It's not really a conversation. You never really feel like he's chatting with someone, like a couple buddies, like you see on podcasts. There's not a lot of back and forth. And the voice chat is obviously here is just a monologue, but even when it is a real AMA, it never really feels like a conversation. It feels like someone asks a couple questions and then he goes on long monologues. But I think a lot of times it could be 2 hours. I've seen 3 hours. Even if you listen on 2x speed, you're still spending a lot of time. And I think that the new information that's actually relevant is usually a very small part of the AMA, and I think a concise Medium post. But I'm just highlighting that he's getting pulled a lot of different directions. And if you have soccer balls that you're kicking down the field, the more soccer balls you have that you're kicking down the field, sometimes you don't really kick one so far. So, but people pull it off. You look at Musk; he is, spread thin. Twitter, SpaceX, Boring Company, Tesla. So, how many people are really in Drip? Because in his last AMA, he made it sound like there's 140,000, and I don't know if he quite worded it that way, but let's just say, and I think this might be a little higher. I just pulled this off the dripnetwork.ca. I think it might have to be 146,000, but for it's not going to be that much different. But let's just say there's 140,000 wallets. If everyone has 5 wallet, the 5 wallet average per real person would be 28,000 users. Okay, then 3 wallets. Whoops, I didn't upgrade that. And then if you have 3 wallets, just a second, let me pull the calculator out. And if you have 3 wallets per user, then you'd actually have about 47,000 real people would be 46,666, so 47,000. It's hard to believe that it's not a 3 wallet average. I mean, there's probably some people that have 10 wallets. I have 5 wallets. I think there's lots of people with 5 wallets. And so I think you're looking at somewhere between about 25 to 50,000 real people in the project. And you can look at their social media, the biggest drip only YouTubers, how many followers they have, how many people are in the Telegram, etc. So I think you're looking at really about between 25 and 50,000 people based off a general wallet count. But the price is so low, most people have started several wallets, and I think there's very few people in drip that only have one wallet. But there's also some that have 10 or 15. Even James Pelton said he has 15. So yeah, so the inflation of drip, there's over 14 million drip now, 8 million drip in wallets, about 155,000 minted in the last 24 hours. So let me know, do you think Triple D is going to bring a lot more people in, or do you think just the people currently in it are going to be so stoked about it that they're just going to start putting more money in? Because in the end of the day, drip needs more capital so that it stops minting, the tax vault fills up. Now, maybe some of these other side projects, there's a lot brick by brick and stuff that Drip Coach is doing, the Bit Fighters. If any of that stuff can start helping generate more drip into the tax vault, I do think that the burn is kind of ridiculous because it's just providing exit liquidity for someone that doesn't believe in the project. Here's the Rev token. So just highlighting a few things. I mean, right now there's a lot of excitement, but it doesn't feel like, it feels like the community's burnt out. The price isn't going up. I mean, it did kind of shoot up to 29 cents, but typically before something launches, the price starts running up and then maybe even crashes a little bit after the launch. And maybe that happens on a stealth launch or something, but I think people are burned out. A lot of people don't really feel like it's going to, they just going to get excited once it happens. And I hope it turns things around for Drip. There's a lot of people in the community that if it just went up to $1 or a couple bucks for a while, it would make a lot of people a lot of money. And also just kind of highlight some of those other projects because like Silo and Rev and some of the other ones that he did in the past aren't really around now. If you go to like Silo, no one's going to the Silo. And then there's another one too. I just can't think of it on top of my head right now. But those projects just show that, every project might die, so who knows how long Drip's going to last. But hopefully some of this new stuff comes out, turns it around, and then we'll just finish with this. When Forex Shark was just kind of predicting a $3,000 Drip price. That was back when things were in a different ecosystem. The ecosystem was in a different place. That's when it was hot and heavy. Everyone was rushing into DeFi, node projects and things like that. But it just shows you just got to keep in mind, no one truly knows the future. We're all just people. And I'll finish off with this clip and then.
Puts us at a higher rank than projects that are doing, like I said, 10 times more volume and 10 times more TVL. That's mostly, almost like exclusively based on how strong our growth analytics are and our new user onboarding. We're onboarding about 30,000 new users a month, and it's just we're onboarding oftentimes 1,000 users a day. So there's no other project right now that is onboarding users at the pace that we are, and I'm talking in all of DeFi, all of crypto. We're ranked on Binance Smart Chain right under PancakeSwap. That's the only other project that's ranked above us. And PancakeSwap is, by its nature, has a very high TVL and a very high volume because they're servicing all these other tokens up there. So, of course, they're going to have very bloated analytics that put them at the top, and they're going to be at the top for a long time, I would suspect. But we're right underneath them.
Well, I don't know about a long time with Animal Farm. You got some crazy stuff going on with that.
Yeah. Well, I do have a plan that I believe we will execute to unseat PancakeSwap from that #1 place. But even if we keep on our current projection, where, for example, when you look at the rates of the high yield annuities that are being paid out through Fidelity and all these other ones, you'll notice it's much less than we offer with Drip. The reason why we're able to offer such a large rate is because we're not in a bloated market that has already hit its edges of growth. We're in the fastest growing market, and we're in the fastest growing sector of this market. Global markets in general are growing, so drip has not even began to touch the type of numbers that its peers in the top 5 have hit as far as TVL and volume. DeFi makes up a small portion of crypto. Crypto makes up a small portion of global markets, and it's the fastest growing market, globally. And then global markets are growing at an insane rate. So we have almost infinite growth that we can see as far as our ability to onboard new users and compound our new users. And if we just get to the same TVL and the same volume that our peers in the top 5 have, that's going to put the price of drip between around $3,000 to $5,000.
And what is drip right now? What is drip right now?
Last time I looked, like 140, 145.
And you're saying, based on comparative market standards, you're looking at us on projection $3,000 to $5,000 a token.
Yeah, and people ask me for price predictions all the time, and I always tell them I'm not going to give them price predictions. I'm not going to tell you what drip's going to be next month or next week. I don't know.
Right.
But this is just pure math.
Yeah.
If you look